Hello and welcome to my Minecraft map, the Odyssey. It's been a long time since I started this world of mine, and I thought that what I would like to do at this point is show people around it a little bit. Then they can download it, they can do what they like with it, they can turn it into a server, or they can I don't know, destroy it just like that. It's entirely up to you. But I just thought I'd give people a bit of a look around because I think that that's a nice thing to do, a neighbourly thing to do, and it kind of makes me feel a bit better about spending the last 4 years on working on this in my spare time. So that's what I'm going to do. To start with, just bear with me. I'm going to. Oh, it's already done. Set the view distance to far, because there's nothing better than spotting something in the far distance and realising that if you want to, you can go and check it out, like that pyramid over there. Can't even remember building that. Really can't. I must have done it at some point, but kind of nice how it's at the very end of the driveway there. That was not on purpose. But anyway, this is my house. This is all creative. Well, for the most part, it's creative. So, forgive me for that. I've got quite a big imagination, I suppose. I've got quite a lot of stuff I want to build, and doing it on survival would mean I wouldn't be able to work, I wouldn't be able to have children, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I'd be on this all day. That's not realistic, so I plan creative. But this is my home. I've made it my home. It's quite a big house. It's my mansion, overlooking my gardens, as you can see. So I'll show you around. This is the top floor, so it's got a really quite grand fireplace actually for the first floor. I suppose it doesn't collapse down into the lower stories, but there we go. This is a spare bedroom, staircase leading down. Fairly simple structure, to be honest, but it cheers me up. Here's the living area, very nice. Sunset over there, so it's going to be dark for our first walk around, which actually might suit it quite well. The grounds of this building are pretty big. It was my first attempt at actual proper landscape gardening, I suppose you could call it, trying to make an English style manor house, stately home gardens, and I think in some respects it worked, in others it didn't. I'll see what you think. So there's the driveway leading down. There are lots of flower beds like this all the way along, and there is of course this river that cuts across the property like that. There are, needless to say, things that I've built over there and things that I've built all the way over there. It's quite a big map, this, as you'll hopefully see. This is my favourite bit of the garden, the kind of bowling green, the lawn. Absolutely perfectly flat. I don't know, it works quite nicely. It works better in the daytime, I think. So let's make it daytime. There we are, look at that. Lovely flat lawn there to have your picnics on, whatever it is people that live in a house like this would do. Some terraces down there, but I won't go down there because it's a dead end. So yeah, this is the garden. I actually do kind of like spending time just pottering around it in a weird kind of way. Enjoying the scenery, enjoying the peace and quiet that it provides, because my real life garden obviously is nothing like this. That would be insane. It's about 5 feet by 5 feet with a bit of grass in the middle, so this is quite special. This is quite nice. And there's the house there, standing quite proudly there with the mountains behind. Now all of the landscape work was done in World Painter. Unfortunately, I'd already invested several, probably at least a year in the map before I realised that World Painter exists and that you could actually change the landscape of the map. And so I had to it was difficult. I wasn't going to start again because that was never going to happen. So I had to work around that and only world paint the bits that I could get away with World Painter without ruining all the structures. I think it's worked quite well, but it does, you'll spot a few instances where it doesn't work quite so well, a few gaps, a few problems that have arisen. But not too many of those, I hope. And it means that I've got these quite nice mountains. This is actually a very long mountain chain, this one. It stretches from the top to bottom of my map. You'll keep spotting it as we go through. It's got little breaks and kind of mountain passes that you can use, but it's a very, very long mountain chain, which I enjoy making. World Painter's good. I like World Painter. Anyway, I'm going to leave my mansion behind. Here we are, in the world. As you can see, there are bits and pieces dotted around, hopefully giving you a bit of an idea about what this world's all about. I tried to make the most of the landscape, tried to make my builds fit into the landscape successfully. Make it, I suppose, realistic, although it's not really that realistic, but certainly structurally I tried to make it seem like it could exist. So we've got a nice obelisk there in the desert, and obviously that strange pyramid just over there that I can't remember building. There's the mountain ranges again in the distance now. As you can see, there's a ruined tower on top of that mountain. And here's some ruins dotted around. Now, this that we're coming up to here with the large oak tree and the ruins there, this is the abandoned village of Hoggett. My imagination for names maybe not as good as my imagination for buildings, but there we go. Hoggett, the abandoned village. We've got the abandoned inn here. Okay, so once upon a time this would have been a thriving town, well, village anyway, and this would have been the village inn. Kind of English manor house style again. I like that style of architecture, but as you can see, absolutely knackered, completely ruined. There's a ruined stately home in the distance as well over there. We'll come to that later. If you go in, well, it's just a shell, really, a derelict shell. I built this only yesterday. This is the newest thing in the map, and as you can see, it's fairly realistic. There is, of course, an underground cellar, but I'm not going to show you that. I like to add secrets. The whole idea behind this map is that one day people might play it and find all of the secrets that I've added. Anyway, here's a sign. Ooh, lots of places. So in that direction we've got Hoggett, which you can see, it's there, and also Castle Nordling via Death Pass. Ooh, scary stuff. You can just see the pass. See that lamp up there? That's the road that leads over the mountains. Castle Nordling is, of course, a castle on a hill. It's quite nice, one of the first things I built. And then in this direction we've got the village of Scroat, lovely. Another village, Green Barrel, and the capital city, which is Bumfluff. Yeah, no accounting for the names. We've also got Blackwood, Harbour Town, and Helena, all in that direction. Now, Bumfluff and Helena and Harbour Town are all significant, kind of substantial cities. Blackwood's kind of a bit smaller, mining town. Scroat and Green Barrel are just small villages, but they have their own character. And then in this direction, if we go back the way we came, which we won't be doing for a long time now, you can get to Grey Canyon, which is a town, Forbidden Cove, a town, Mine Manor, of course, and then various other things and bits and bobs, a temple, a fortress, and all the rest of it. For the time being, I think we will head over Death Pass. Obviously, why would we not go over Death Pass? One day I shall take you over there, but for the time being, let's go this way. So this is the ruins of Hoggett. Poor, poor Hoggett. Got the graveyard here. Of course, there's bits hidden underground. There's all kinds of stuff that you can find if you can feel bothered to do it. The ruined church here, quite effective, I think. That's quite nice. Very small. That's the scale of my architecture, though. Everything's built, I suppose, slightly smaller than it would be in real life. A lot of Minecrafters build things on a grand scale. I keep my builds relatively small. Certainly the dimensions are small, kind of the door frames, the windows, that kind of thing. Sometimes the actual builds themselves will be very big, but not as big as what some people do. I haven't got the patience, and frankly, haven't got the skill. Anyway, heading up Death Pass. I make my roads out of this material all the time. This, in case you haven't noticed it, is this is Summerfields, which is abandoned now. Fantastic texture pack. I've used it since very early on. But since it's been abandoned, I've kind of spliced it with Chroma Hills. That's why the dirt and the rock and the stained glass and things are different. It works quite nicely. Look at this! Look at this little promontory here. The Plains of Hoggett. I forgot. I'll put that there. That looks quite nice. That works. Yeah, it's pleasant. Just over there, the red windowed house. That's Scroat, the village that's on the side. The mansion over there, of course. Mountains in the distance that way. Anyway, let's keep climbing. I'm going to try and make these episodes about 15 minutes long a piece. So we're climbing up into the mountains here, following my stone brick road. We find a lovely little mountain inn, just overlooking my manor. This, in fact, is called the Warmby Overlook. So there it is. There's my mansion and its gardens in all its glory. And the Mountain Pine Inn. Nice. We'll stop in for a pint. Oh, can't get through the door. Don't know why. There we go. So this is a very simple build, really. But it's built into the mountains, so you've got bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. 3 bedrooms, and I obviously couldn't be bothered to do 4. 3 bedrooms and a storeroom full of boxes. There we go. Is there anything in there? There is. There's a pumpkin pie and a few bits of gold. Yes, there's chests everywhere. You could conceivably play this on... what's the mode called? you know, where you can't break anything. I never use it, that mode, whatever it is. Adventure mode is it. You could conceivably play it on that, or you could play it on survival, and gradually work your way up and find loot. Right, here we are. We've gone over the mountain range, as you can see. It goes off in that direction, and off in that direction. And here we are in another part of Odyssey. That is Castle Nordling, up in the Pines. A very early build, that. That was the second major project I undertook after Bumfluff. And there it is, we'll go up there in a moment. Off in the distance, what have we got? Well, there's Green Barrel, actually. Tiny village in the swamps. And then over in the distance, no, you can't quite see it, but Bumfluff is over there, just beyond the little house with the tower there. That was another build from yesterday that I added to the swamps, just to give it a bit more character. So here we are now. It's an arduous journey back down the mountain. See what we can see. Ah, nice ruined tower there. Not the best location for a tower. I can only assume that once it was very, very high indeed. Anyhow, so what's this? The Vale of Bliss. Oh. Yeah, you see, I put these signs down. Never remember that I've done it. That's why some of these towns and villages got two different names. Anyway, let's not get too bogged down. Down we go, down the mountain. This road, needless to say, took a blooming long time to build. Nice, yeah, literary references abound. Lovely stuff. Right, over a bridge. I like building bridges. This is a fairly simple single span bridge over the river. That's the same river that my manor house is on, the river that I showed you at the very beginning. Leads on to Bumfluff eventually. Through a nice little glade here. It's quite pretty actually, I like this. And then what we should do is we should emerge up near Castle Nordling, the old quarry. Now if you go that way, that would lead you to, well, the old quarry, but that's not quite scenic, so let's go this way. Lots of these trees have been added using MC Edit. I can't remember the guy's name who made them, you know, a packet of schematics that you can download. I'll credit them in the video comments. But yeah, great work with trees. I'm not very good at trees, so you know, yeah, I just had to go down that route. And there's Nordling, standing high over its village, because Nordling, of course, is not just a castle. No, it's a little village too. Here we have it. Again, very early build, so fairly basic architecture. But this is the village of Hoggett in the kind of mountainous landscape. Not sure about that oak tree. Not sure it works. Anyway. So a little chapel on the rise there, little graveyard, lots of little houses, various towers around the area, around the region. I always kind of envisage this as being a fairly battle or war prone area, obviously enjoying a period of peace at this time. So off to Castle Nordling we go. We'll have to come back this way because sadly the road to Castle Nordling is a dead end. It just leads to the castle. I've been working hard to try and make more of my roads link up. But this is one that I haven't managed yet. So Castle Nordling's approach, very well defended Castle Nordling, and here we are on the bridge overlooking the chasm. Oh, the chasm! There's a nice dam there holding fresh water, towers, all sorts of things. I'm not going to show you around. You can do that yourselves. I might do an episode if I try and modernise it a little bit. You can watch that. But for the time being, let's concentrate on seeing more of the world. We're going to do a few more minutes. So back down into Bumfluff. This is the old quarry, by the way, that I mentioned earlier. Made this out of TNT, quite frankly. A lot of TNT. All the way down. Oh, down. Ah. There we go. Haha. They don't call me Jumpy McJumps for nothing. Right, back to the road. So yeah, long way down there. There's actually a railway at the bottom. A lot of my areas are kind of hooked up with underground railways. That was something I enjoyed doing a while ago. I haven't really added to that. At the moment I'm trying to do an overland railway linking Helena and Bumfluff. That's taken ages and ages. So it's slow going. I'll do a video of me building that later if I get the chance. So down into Bumfluff village. As you can see, very mountainous. Tried to use kind of Yorkshire Dales kind of vibe on this with its dry stone walls and things. Village well. So on that way is Lake Town, as it says. It's under construction. I'm not going to take you that way. That way has been a thorn in my side for a very, very long time. Never quite got round. I had visions of making a Hobbit-like lake town, but it's just slow going. It's not going very well. So let's focus on the main drag. So we're about, of course, to enter the swamplands that we saw earlier with Green Barrel in the distance. As you can see, here we are. Yes, and there, in the distance, is Bumfluff, the great city of Bumfluff. You can see its cathedral tower, you can see its castle, in the middle its keep. There we are, if I just depth of field, there we are, all lit up. That's where we're headed. That's where this episode will terminate. So back down into the swamps. A couple of sheep. Obviously this is on creative and it's there's no baddies anywhere. Now this is a relic of my world generation problems. Actually this entire map is built on a world that had significant problems already. It had loads of chunk errors. Again, I didn't notice until I'd almost finished work on Bumfluff, so I couldn't face starting afresh. So there are loads and loads and loads of problems like this, and this was an example of that. That cliff face there was just a sheer line. You know how it is, just a blank face where the chunks hadn't been aligned properly or something had gone horribly wrong. Basically a swamp, swamp chunks had spawned in a mountain region. But I tried to liven it up a bit by obviously giving it some depth, some 3D, some leaves, some waterfalls, that kind of thing. It's not ideal, to be honest, but I'll try my best. Because like I say, the thought of starting from scratch makes me want to cry. Here's another inn, the parting of... Oh, it's a cottage, Parting of Ways Cottage on the main junction there. Because you see, this is where things go, all kinds of directions. You can get to Green Barrel, back to Scroat, Grey Canyon, over that way, Castle Nordling that way, and of course this way we have Bumfluff and various other places. There's another junction here. If you go off to the left, you get to the desert town of Kzibru, which eventually, if you go a long way around, leads back to the city of Helena. This way, though, Bumfluff, harbour town, and the more reasonable route to Helena, I suppose. So that's where we'll head. So try to make the swamp quite scenic. Swamps are difficult to work with in Minecraft, but a few flowers, a few trees here and there, you can make it look alright, especially if you use the mossy stone brick, of course. Right, there we go. It doesn't look too bad. There's some world painting going on there as well, but the towers look quite nice at night, especially. What time is it? About midnight. Okay. Alright, then over another bridge. This is quite a long bridge. That there is my hub. That's the centre of the world. Naught coordinates. I put it there originally just because it helped me find my way around. Now I just don't really want to get rid of it. Over there in the distance with the lava, that's a kind of Barad-dûr sort of affair. Tower of Doom. Again, very early build, and I haven't quite got the heart to get rid of it. It's got a bit of character about it. I quite like it. And here we have the farmland of Bumfluff. This is peaceful, quiet, really quite serene. There's the farmhouse, windmill. This road, if you follow it, leads to the deep woods. It's actually quite nice out there. It also leads to another route to Helena, the bridge town of Gondola, and the village of Coldstream. You can get to it that way, or you can get to it this way. Like I said, I've tried to have many more roads now. Loads of different roads going in different directions. This is the... Oh, yep, Blackwood is that way. That's the industrial town that I told you about, the mining town, the Blackwood Road. We're carrying on to Bumfluff. We'll go to Blackwood probably next episode. So we're approaching Bumfluff now, that you can see through the trees. There it is. Quite a big city. Haven't counted the dwellings, the houses, but there are a lot of them. Oh, was that pink sheep? That's pink sheep. It's one of the first things I did in this world. I started this world on survival, and I got hold of some pink dye quite early on for some reason, and changed a sheep pink. I'm sure I saw it, and it's remained ever since. I never killed it. It's 4 years later. It's still roaming around, and it's amazing, really. The Minecraft animals don't go far when left to their own devices. They always stay in the same kind of area. So this is the kind of hinterlands of Bumfluff, the suburbs, I suppose. So obviously Helena is that direction. Helena and the rest of the world really is that direction. But this is Bumfluff, the main gates. Took quite a while to build this. I remember I was listening to the switch is on the other side. I was listening to a speech or a lecture by Christopher Hitchens while I was building that. It's quite interesting. Right, here's the secret entrance. And here we are. Bumfluff. So this is it. This is the town. And next episode we will have a good look round. Thank you very much. Goodbye.